Hi, I'm here with Pamela Beach, and tonight is her artist reception, and we've hung her show here at Flowerstone. We're excited to have her here, and all her new paintings. You painted for this?
Yeah.
So for the month of October, Pamela's work will be here, and if you can't make it tonight, which we really hope you can, then I hope you come out to see her work this month. So I love how colorful they are. This show has a theme.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about the theme that came up for this show?
So, obviously I always paint people, and so just as one of my running ideas is I like to paint people like in what they like to do, and so obviously musicians have a tie to their instrument, and so I wanted to paint people with their instrument. It's pretty simple.
And you've got quite a few here.
Yeah.
I also have painted music ones, and so I like that you've got a couple of the different sounds and the textures and colors that all go with it. This is really right up my alley. I love it. So what about the models in these? Are they people you know?
Yeah, so they're all people that I know. My husband and I do kind of just a small neighborhood band, like just kind of a side thing when we're not doing art. And so most of these people are in that band, but also, even some that aren't, they still live in my neighborhood, kind of as I'm looking, that they're all people I know and people that I know that love their music and their craft.
That's fun. Did they sit for these?
They didn't. I do often paint from life. That's probably one of my top preferences is painting from life, but having people sit still for you can be a challenge for everybody. So these are from photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you consider yourself a portraiture artist?
I do, but definitely with a modern take, and yeah, they're definitely not traditional, but they are definitely of the people. And I think what makes them, in my mind, the more modern approach is that I'm not just going for like a visual likeness. I'm definitely trying to get some sense of a little bit of an abstract process, because humans are like, we're real and we're physical, and that is represented in the real physical, but there are also abstract processes that we go through that I like to try to hint at in the paintings.
Yeah, and we'll get to see that maybe tonight if some of these people are at the show. That would be nice I'll try to match them up when I walk in. Hey, I know you.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit, your portraiture, because this month, do you remember the date for it?
October 21st.
October 21st.
Yeah.
I have a lot of classes here.
Yeah.
October 21st, Pamela's going to teach us a portraiture class using her techniques with these colorful portraits. So let's take a look. Let's look in this one here.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing portraits kind of in your style where it looks like the planes of the face.
Yeah, we kind of, we'll do in the class sort of a simplified version of this, but what I like about the class is everyone who's taken it, and I've probably taught, maybe over 100 people have done it, everyone has walked away successful. And many people, especially adults, have come in and said, I won't be able to do it, I won't do good, I'm not artistic. And they've been able to surprise themselves by like having some success. So I will teach you how to really break down sections so that it's not really overwhelming thing. So you'll be successful if you take it, I promise.
I think that's so great. I can't wait. I'm taking it. Come
Yeah.
take it with me.
It'll be fun.
Come take it with me. Okay, so this painting, tell me about this one. We don't want to talk about all of them. We want to leave some surprises for you for when you come to the show, but we're going to tell you a little bit about this painting.
Okay, so I'll just speak to, a lot of people ask me about kind of my process, and I'll kind of speak to that. So I always paint people. I love painting people because I kind of get a sense, when I'm around kind of anybody, and I think many of us are like this, I get a sense of like who that person is. I think that's a really normal feeling, like a human interaction, but like how I view the world is I'm always looking at shapes and colors and interactions. So even if I'm talking to you, which I'm of course going to be listening, I also am noticing like the shape of a shadow by your eye and how it might be different from the shape of a shadow by your chin. And so I'm always taking in information, and I'm not doing it consciously. And so
It's so fun for me because I didn't know everybody does that.
Right, I know.
I do that.
You do that, but if you talk to people, they don't always do that. They do something else.
An artist eye.
Yeah,
That's
you just
cool.
do it.
Okay.
So, which another thing is I know that I don't see beauty in a way that the world like commonly would, because I tend to think everyone is beautiful, like, because I'm looking at just things about their face. And another thing I do that is not conscious at all is I notice how people how they're gonna stand or lean or use their hands, or like I notice how they move. And so really often, like, I don't tell people like how to pose, because generally they're going to do something that they always do that is natural for them. So this is my brother-in-law, and he's in my husband and my band, and he plays the bass. And whenever we're I noticed about him, because I just noticed, whenever we're in between songs, he always just leans on his bass in a certain way and tucks like 2 fingers into his jeans. Always. So when I went to take his pictures, he started to like do other things, and I was like, no, do the thing that this is what you do. You don't do other things. You rest and lean. And another thing about...
You probably felt really comfortable with that. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
good, okay.
Yes,
Well,
most
that's
people
natural.
are. I'm like, no, and just coaching them back into what they naturally do is usually like really easy. And another thing about this, like being around him, like I talked about, like the sense of being around people, is like being around the ocean. He's calm and like gentle and very chill. And I think you can kind of like sense that about him, but also he loves the earth. He loves gardening. It is like his thing. And so I try to get to know people, and then the painting will just kind of reveal itself to me. I don't have to think that hard. I've noticed if I'm having a hard time with a concept on a painting, then how I solve that is talk to the people more, because the idea always will just present itself to me. And so once I had his stance down, then I was like, he needs his plants, because Van has his plants. And so the images come to me. If I'm trying too hard, it means I haven't talked to the person enough. So that's my process for like how I come up with the imagery. They'll say things about their life, and then I have the image.
And yet the colors and the repetition of the shapes and stuff makes such a good background too. Like the tomatoes are just, they're so
It's
good
its
for
own
a background.
pattern
It's great.
to like solve the
And
pattern.
I didn't know if it had more symbolism too, like, with to get these tomatoes, you have to nurture them, and there could be so much symbolism there.
There could
Just
be,
not
and
sure.
that's what like the viewer can bring too. And obviously with him, I don't have the patience for a garden. I would never be painted in a serene, like chill way, because I'm not. But he is, and he takes the time to like stop. Like you'll notice most people in these are going to be playing their instruments. He's not, because he's like taking in life, because that's what he does.
And that's what makes these paintings great for people who don't know Van.
Right.
And who don't, it's not just, hey, here's a picture of Van for his mom.
Right.
It's like there is all this symbolism and things that we can read into it as viewers that make it meaningful to us.
Yeah.
And also like the color combinations, just the way it's painted and stuff. I just like looking at it. I'm gonna have so much fun looking at this all month, because I'm trying the class, but that just makes it something that we all can enjoy too. Like for me, when I look at this too, when I'm painting music or musical instruments, I'm using the background to show somebody the sound.
Yeah.
And so for me,
Another
it's
aspect.
neat that you're using the background to show people the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I love that, like the personality of the people. So I just,
Yeah,
it
so
is
come to
calming.
this show, and you can talk to me about all these people.
There's a story for each one.
Yeah.
That's what's fun, is there's a story in all of them, and we can't wait to show you. So come on over. It's tonight, October 8th from 6 till 8, and it's going to be here all month. So even if you can't make it tonight, just come by the gallery and look at these paintings, and you'll love it. It's great. Thanks, Pamela.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Happy to.
Okay.